I had to travel 1,600 miles, but I finally got my magazines. Hello? You're currently on the phone with Kacey K. Yep, that's me. Good morning, everybody. It is actually Friday today, October 11th. So, this is earlier than usual, for me at least. I don't think you guys really will know the difference. It might be a shorter episode because I'm leaving for the airport shortly to go. Me and my cousin Georgie are going to see our friend Angelina in Phoenix, and it is supposed to be just kind of a cool, nice, relaxing weekend. I'm just kidding. It'll be relaxing, but it's going to be super hot, I think. Should we see the weather in Phoenix? Weather. Supposedly it's been very, very hot. Today, it's already 77 degrees there, and it's going to get to 105. My cousin's like, oh, I guess I should tell you what we're doing. We're going to see Charlie XCX and Troye Sivan, and Georgie's like, is this event inside? I'm like, I'm pretty sure every event in Phoenix is inside. Even the baseball team, the field, I think it's the Chase Field, is inside. I don't think they even try to have stuff outside. Maybe like in the winter. But I visited this time last year, and it wasn't this hot, but it was still like 90 degrees, which I guess isn't that shocking because it's still 90 degrees here in Utah. It was literally 90 yesterday. But yeah. So I am recording this early because I get back on Monday, and I could technically record this Monday, but I'm trying to make myself record this earlier, and then maybe step up my editing game and just have it ready to go. And so maybe this will help. And I don't want to be rushing when I get home on Monday. And yeah, so here we are. And I don't know how long this episode's going to be. I think like I have stuff to talk about, but it's not nearly as long as it usually would be. My list of topics. I'm always like, am I going to have something to talk about? And I'm like worried I'm not going to. And the celebrities always pull through because I always seem to have something to talk about. A whole list of stuff. But yeah, I finally got my magazines, you guys. It's very rare that I used to have a list of magazines I want to get, but it is so hard. Like sometimes they just don't have the magazine, and sometimes they do. Barnes and Noble is what I'm talking about. And so like when I write a list, it's like it's very rare. Like sometimes they have paper magazine. It's very, very rare. Especially the ones I go to. I think in Utah it's kind of like hit or miss. Um, but the airport is usually a good place to get magazines. And I think I might start going there because you can go in even before you go through security, and there's that Hudson news stand. I don't know. I think that's what they call it. But it's like a airport store. And that is where I found my last two magazines. So I had to go. I've been checking Barnes and Noble in Orem for like a month and a half for these magazines. The magazines I wanted, I think I already talked about them, is British Vogue with Kylie Jenner. It's the October edition? Or maybe September. Anyway, what is it? Now I can't remember, it's been so long. But they announced it literally like months ago, a month and a half ago at least. And so I've been checking every single time. And this is the first time a Kardashian has been on, Kardashian slash Jenner, sorry, has been on British Vogue. And I want it because I love Kylie. And then there's GQ with Beyonce, which my Barnes and Noble hasn't even had a GQ for a long time. I can't remember the last time I saw it. And then Rolling Stone with Chapel Roan. My friend the other day, Nathan, he's like, so, do you guys like Chappelle Roan? Me and my other friend are like, you mean Chapel? He's like, well, it's spelled Chappelle. I'm like, well, it's not. It's Chapel. So I got her own Rolling Stone. And then the last one... What is the last one? I've got 4. Now I can't remember. I wanted them so badly. Now I can't even remember. Hang on, let me go check. Okay, it was Lady Gaga, the Vogue cover of hers, but I already got hers. Anyway, so I went to Oklahoma, as we all know, and went to Barnes & Noble, got my Kylie Jenner one, got a few other ones. Sabrina Carpenter is on Time magazine right now. I got one with Tom Blythe on it, which is already one I have, but it's Jonathan Bailey on the other one. And then I got the other edition of Men's Health with Joe Burrows on it. Or Joe Burrows, sorry, there's no S. Does anybody else's grandparents say words with an S at the end? Like my grandma would always say, let's go to Walmart's. Or, what else would she say? Everything had an S at the end. And I'm like, I thought it was normal, but some of my friends made fun of me one time for saying that. Anyway, what else did I get? I got a Paris Hilton magazine, and it came with her CD, which was kind of fun. So she's performing at Jingle Ball. I always want to call it Jingle Bell Ball. I don't know why, but it's the Jingle Ball. And yeah, that should be fun. She's kind of just doing, she just does whatever she wants. She just like, if she wants to do something, she'll do it. And she's actually quite good at things. She says she sleeps. I don't know, maybe now she can sleep better, but in her documentary, she said she had so much trauma and like PTSD from being in that school that she would sleep like maybe 2 hours a night, which is super unhealthy. Rihanna also doesn't sleep very much. She sleeps like 3 to 4 hours a night. That might be different now that she has like a family and like kids and stuff, but yeah, I'm like, how? I'm just genuinely curious how people can do that. Like, I have friends that will literally stay up till like 1 and then get up at 6 and get their kids ready for the day. And then they like don't take naps. I'm like, who are you? Who? If I like miss like 15 minutes of sleep, I have to take a nap. I don't know. Anyway, another magazine I have to get though is Billie Eilish. She is going to be on the cover of Vogue November. It's actually a cool looking cover. It kind of gives me Great Gatsby vibes. She's wearing like this light tan. I think it's more cream colored suit with like a blue button up shirt. I don't know why. It just seems very. It doesn't seem like a fall. What is the album cover? Magazine cover. Maybe, and they probably shot it forever ago, but so that's another one. Keep your eye out for that one. Did you guys see this? Spirit Halloween is going to start doing Spirit Christmases. They're only doing it in a few, like 10 stores on the East Coast, which is interesting because Spirit Halloween started in California. So you think they'd have at least one in California, but I wonder how much they make. There's just so much waste. Have you guys ever been to a Spirit Halloween? Just like that smell of fake fog and like silly string and like plastic and synthetic. I don't know, it's come in handy a couple times, but I don't know. My cousin worked there for like 3 days once. She had to quit because she had to move, I think. Like something happened and she had to like move quickly. But yeah, she just said there was just boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff to be unboxed. Let's see. Sorry, I want to show you where Spirit Halloween started in 1983 as a pop-up in Castro Valley, California, before it was purchased in 1999 by Spencer Gifts. See, I did it. It's just Spencer, not Spencer's. Who has owned the iconic storefront ever since. They laughed at me and put me in the corner behind an old restaurant when I did $100,000 in 30 days. They were astounded. Founder Joe Marver told New York Times in 2000. Now Spirit Halloween operates more than 1,500 seasonal stores nationwide every single year. That's so many. That is so many. I mean, obviously this is like a year-round thing. Which I don't know, it kind of be kind of nice. Because what, they open in September? I guess now they're going to be open for Christmas for some stores. But then just like the rest of the year, you're kind of just laying low buying things just behind the scenes, making sure inventory is correct. I don't know, it's kind of seems like a pretty good business outline. Spirit Christmas, however, will only be available in 10 locations. In New Jersey, festive shoppers can head to Marlton, Brick, Mays Landing, and Woodbridge, and New Yorkers will have to travel to Albany, Bohemia, and Poughkeepsie. I did not know that's how you spell Poughkeepsie. You know those words that you just hear, but you never have to spell them, and then when you finally see them, this is why I like to listen to books and read them at the same time. Because there are many, many words that I think I already told you guys this, but I've learned a lot of words that I did not know how to spell, but I've always heard. Connecticut and Dartmouth, Massachusetts. The Mays Landing, New Jersey will open. I don't know why who's listening to this that's from New Jersey. Anyway, this is kind of funny. Spirit Halloween became the punchline of a Saturday Night Live skit, which elicited pushback from the holiday pop-up retailer. I don't know what they're talking about. I kind of have an inkling. Oh no, they did a whole skit. I remember this. They did a whole skit about Saturday Night Live, or sorry, God, Spirit Halloween. So then Spirit Halloween kind of poked back at them. It said after one of the sketches poked fun at Spirit Halloween, the company posted a meme on Twitter of a Photoshop costume package, emblanite. What is that word? Emblazoned? I don't know why I just said emblazed. With the SNL 50 logo. The fake costume, titled Irrelevant 50-Year-Old TV Show, said it included dated references, unknown cast members, and shrinking ratings. Kind of funny. Anyway, there's a movie coming out about SNL. Wonder what it does. SNL movie. I didn't really watch the last week. I started to watch it and I fell asleep. It was pretty funny, but this week is Ariana Grande, so that'll be good. But she's not performing; she's hosting. She must be wanting to show her acting chops. Let's see. Oh, the movie's out. The movie is called Saturday Night, and it's about the lead up and the night of the first Saturday Night Live. Kaya Gerber is in it. I don't know anybody else that's in it. Oh, Dylan O'Brien. Yeah, duh. Dylan O'Brien and Finn Wolfhard. He's from Stranger Things. Nicholas Braun. I think he's from he's from How to Be Single. I'm sure he's from other. Is he in Succession? Yeah. Everyone's like, you're naming one of his least notable roles, but How to Be Single is one of the greatest movies of all time, and I will stand behind that for all time and eternity. So yeah, go get your Spirit Halloween stuff. I don't think I'll dress up this year. I've dressed up once, maybe. In the recent years, I was Jack Sparrow. It was actually pretty good. Other than that, I have not dressed up in a long, long time. Crumbl is going to Australia. I will listen to a podcast about the Crumbl cookie founder. He was on, it's called The Weekly Trash. It's here in Utah. Just how he got started with Crumbl and how like he runs businesses and just how they kind of made it what it is. Apparently, the reason they do the weekly menu is because they had all these kind of different kinds of cookies, and his mom and his dad were they were the first franchise of Crumbl. Like, they had the original store, and then the first franchise was in Bountiful, and his mom started crying because there was so much work to do, and she's like, I can't keep up with all these cookies. So that's why they do just 4 a week. This week's kind of sucks, I'm not gonna lie. I looked at it. I always check because you're just kind of curious. And I'm always looking out for the Kentucky butter cookie. That is the best one, hands down. I don't care what you say. But yeah, so apparently someone in Australia went and smuggled a bunch of cookies into Australia. They bought, what did it say, hundreds of cookies? Let's see, I'll read this. It's from KSL. Crumbl Cookies announced Sunday that the company has plans to open stores in Australia after an unofficial cookie debacle occurred in Sydney. Crumbl is thrilled to expand to Australia and start an official Crumbl Australia Instagram account to mark the occasion. The cookie company said in a press release details on specific locations and dates were not released. The team at Crumbl has been amazed by the support of fans in Australia over recent weeks. Crumbl has been inspired to accelerate plans to provide all dessert-loving Aussies with true Crumbl experiences. Let's see. This announcement comes after a week. It comes a week after some Australian Crumbl fans flew to the US, bought hundreds of cookies, imported them to Australia, then resold them at a pop-up shop in Sydney. The cookies were sold for a whopping $17.50 Australian dollars, equivalent of $12 US. They're already expensive. That's crazy. I wonder how they got them home so like without them getting smushed or whatever, because I can barely get mine home without the frosting touching the top or them all sliding down to one side. I remember we DoorDashed, which I never DoorDash you guys ever, but we were at work and we DoorDashed them, and this took forever. It was taking so long. And then this like sweet old man pulled up and he like gets out and he's like, "Here's your cookies." We're like, "Oh, thanks." And then we opened them and they were all like in one giant pile at the bottom. I'm like, "Thanks." Anyway, the situation went viral on TikTok with dozens of people in the following days posting reviews of the cookies, some claiming the stunt was illegal and others praising the hustle of the organizers. So yeah, anyway, Crumbl didn't seem to be mad about it, and it made them put one in Australia. So I want to go to Australia so bad. I just want to see what it's like. Lucky them, they're just getting into summer. We're leaving summer. Although I am excited for it to cool down a little so I can have my fire, but it is not seeming to do that. It's still pretty warm here. Let's see, Josh Gad has a book coming out, and I do not know why this is the first time I'm hearing about this. Because he just posted on Instagram saying he has signed copies, but I have not heard anything about this book. But it should be good. Let's see, publisher, January 14th, 2025. 272 pages, Simon & Schuster. About the book, a heartfelt and hilarious collection of essays from the comedian and entertainer known for voicing Olaf in the phenomenon Disney franchise Frozen, and for his award-winning turn as Elder Cunningham in the Broadway smash hit The Book of Mormon. For the first and possibly last time, Josh Gad dives into a wide array of personal topics: the lasting impact of his parents' divorce, how he struggled with weight and self-image, his first big break, how everyone was sure his most successful ventures, both on the big screen and on stage, would fail, his take on fatherhood, and so much more. This trip down the rabbit hole of overly personal stories will distract readers from climate change, the downward descent of democracy and Western civilization, and existential threat that AI poses to Drake's music. What a weird intro. With never before seen photos and few to no spelling errors. Whether you know him from Disney or Broadway, YouTube, the silver screen, or not at all, the fact remains Josh's work never fails to bring people together as long as they're alive. His delightful debut, written in the tradition of Amy Poehler, Jim Gaffigan, and Mindy Kaling, reminds us to keep going even when the chips and doubters are stacked against you. If you've never read Amy Poehler's book or Mindy Kaling's, they're really funny. So if it's written in those same ways, then it'll be pretty good. I think it'll be good anyways because he's funny. But yeah, and one of the funniest books I've read was Tina Fey's. They're just so hilarious. I just love funny people. I always remember in Amy Schumer's book too. She's like, when I die, I don't want people to bring flowers to my funeral. I want everyone to bring their favorite pasta salad and just dump it in the casket with me. Uh, anyway, you can pre-order it. You can do signed copies. I can't remember where you can buy the signed copies, but I'm sure just look up his Instagram page. And yeah. Books A Million? Where is that? I've never heard of Books A Million before. Booksamillion.com. Hang on, it's verifying me. Has anyone ever bought a book from this place? I mean, obviously, duh, but is it interesting? Is it like an actual store, or is it just an online thing? Because that'd be crazy to be going up against Barnes & Noble and Amazon in this climate. Could you imagine? Do you know Toys R Us? No. Amazon wanted to partner with Toys R Us and they said no. Big mistake. And the same thing with Netflix and Blockbuster. Netflix went to Blockbuster and asked them if they'd want to start. I think it was like the very beginning of like the online thing. Or maybe they hadn't done streaming yet. Maybe it was just them mailing out the movies. Yeah, they said no too. They were kind of arrogant about it. And then they tried to start their Blockbuster on demand, I think was what it was called. And that did not do well, obviously. So weird. I'll never forget the feeling, though, of walking into Barnes & Noble. That too. But Blockbuster on the weekends with your friends, picking out a movie, seeing all the covers for the new movies and the scary posters for the scary movies, the popcorn smell. The one we had wasn't a Blockbuster. It's like the town over, but they had a pizza shop in the back too. So it just smelled like pizza and yeah. Anyway, so weird that some things just die and like some people will never be able to experience it. Did you guys see when Katy Perry went to that ice cream store in Santa Barbara and they have a flavor? It's like the Katy Perry flavor, firework flavor or something. And her and her sister went in to go get some ice cream and there were kids in front of them. And they're like talking to him. They're like, "Are you going to get this ice cream? It's the Katy Perry ice cream." And they're like, no. Like, "Who's that?" And she's like, "I'm Katy Perry." And they didn't believe her. And she's like, "Here's my license." But she's like, "My name's Catherine Hudson, but I'm Katy Perry." And they're like, they still didn't believe her. And finally she's like, "All right, just get your ice cream and leave me and leave." But that's so weird. And in the comments, it's like, "Uh-oh, it's beginning. The youth of today don't know pop stars that are not even that old." Let's see. Jenna Fisher from The Office announced that she had breast cancer last year. She posted on October. When was this? 3 days ago? So October 8th. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I never thought I'd be making this announcement like this, but here we are. Last December, I was diagnosed with stage 1 triple positive breast cancer. After completing surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation, I am now cancer-free. I wanted a photo of myself in my patchy pixie looking happy and healthy to go along with this news. A big thank you to Angela Kinsey's husband, Joe Snyder, for taking this photo. It's just one example of the care they showed me during this journey. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, there's like a lot more to it, but I won't read all that. Apparently she's fine now. And I've never listened to the Office Ladies podcast. And it's not because like I don't want to, but I've never watched The Office all the way through. I've just seen random episodes, which I think are funny. I've just never sat down and watched the whole thing. And so I don't feel like I would know what they were talking about. And that would make me confused. So I kind of want to watch an episode and then listen to an episode. And watch an episode and listen to an episode. To kind of get the in-depth. They go behind the scenes of what it was like filming the show and that specific episode and all that stuff. So, which I love. I love stuff like that. Anne Hathaway has apologized to that interviewer, the one that Blake Lively was mean to. I looked up her name. I can't remember how you spell it or say it. It's called Jertsey, I think is how you say it, but it's spelled K. I don't know. It's some strange spelling, but I don't know like where it's from. It's like almost Dutch, I think, somewhere in that region. um, let's see. After getting slammed on the internet due to a resurfaced clip of an uncomfortable 2012 interview with journalist Jertsey, I think that's how you spell it, but there's a K in front of it. Jertsey Flaw, Anne Hathaway has apologized. Yesterday I did receive an email from Anne Hathaway's publicist, and he had forwarded me a message from Anne Hathaway. I would have to say I was pretty shocked. I did not expect her to reach out to me at all. I thought that she was never going to even see that video, but she did, and she did something pretty amazing. Let's see. So basically, the interview, it was for Les Miserables, and that movie is like obviously known for singing, and she had, it showed clips of like with oh my gosh, why did I just forget his name? Oh my gosh, this is so annoying. Hugh Jackman. And basically she would sing the first question and then they would sing it back to her. And Hugh Jackman did it and a few other people did it. Then she got to Anne Hathaway and she's like, "Can I sing the question to you and you can sing it back the answer to me?" And Anne Hathaway's like, "Well, I won't be doing that, but you're more than welcome to sing." And then she just basically asked her a couple more questions and she just like, "No." Then she asked her another question. She's like, "No." And she's like, "Okay, thank you." She's like, "Thank you." Gets up and leaves. It was really uncomfortable. But I will say, this was the time that Anne Hathaway had to lose tons of weight for that role. And I remember her doing an interview and she said, "I will not discuss how I lost so much weight because it is pretty dangerous. And I did it with the supervision of a doctor. But it was not a healthy way to lose that much weight, and I don't want to glorify it." And I'm thinking that had something to do with it, because it said in this apology or whatever, she's like, "I'm not going to say what Anne Hathaway said in the message, but she explained what she was going through." And she apparently invited her to interview her for her next movie, which is pretty good. But anyone I've heard about this interviewer, like I've seen clips and stuff of her with other people, and like they really like her, and they seem to think she's really nice and polite and fun. And some girl, there's always it's always gonna come back around. Everyone is like all on her side, over Blake Lively stuff, and now people are like, "Well, is it her? Is she the problem now?" And I'm like, no, I think it's kind of been known that Anne Hathaway can be kind of not mean, but blunt in a way that comes off as mean. And I think if you see both interviews, Blake Lively's and this one, it's pretty obvious that they're just not being nice that day. But yeah, she's like, this one other journalist person is like, maybe she didn't want to answer the question of who her first crush was. Maybe she didn't want to do this. Maybe she didn't like you. Have you ever thought about that? I'm like, hey, get off your soapbox and just go away. But yeah, I like Anne Hathaway. I think she's great in literally anything she does. And maybe she's just having a bad day. We all have bad days. But yeah, what is next? What is next on my list of stuff? Let's see, what time are we at? 30 minutes. I feel like I've been talking for longer than 30 minutes. Do you know you have 30 minutes? 30 minutes. All right, where's my notes? I can't find my notes now. Here we are. Debbie Ryan is in the new American Horror Story trailer. I actually didn't watch it. American Horror Story is hard for me to focus on because it's just so, I don't know, it's just so gory. It's just so hard. Okay, American Horror Stories sets premiere date for 5-episode Hulu event. Debbie Ryan Oh, come on. I hate these ads. Jackson's told me how to get rid of them, but I forgot. um, Debbie Ryan, Victor Garber, and Michael Imporlori. How do you say that? Wow, it really shows how dumb you are when you have to read out loud. The last guy, Michael, is from the last season of White Lotus. He is the father of the son. It's like the grandpa, the dad, and the son go. He's the dad. And Victor Garber, he is the architect on Titanic. And he is Callahan on Legally Blonde. And those will be the only two characters I will ever know him as. Even if he's in other things. That's his roles. And Debbie Ryan obviously is from Disney Channel, and she has the most iconic interviews. She's the one that was like, what does she say? Like, I'm messy. She's like, I just came back from the desert in Palm Springs, and I just like threw on this dress, and I just like, being still scares me. And then she's another one. She's like, I walked into the president of Disney Channel's office, and I said, I want to make history, and that's what this is. She's also married to the lead singer of 21 Pilots, if you were curious. I don't know his name, though. Sorry. FX's American Horror Stories is set to premiere its latest installment, and of course, it's just in time for Halloween. All 5 episodes of Huluween event will drop on Tuesday, October 15th on Hulu, and via Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. The series will also premiere October 15th on Disney Plus in Canada. Let's see. American Horror Stories Stories is a spin-off of Ryan Murphy and Brad Falchuk's American Horror Stories. Now in its 3rd installment is an anthology series that will feature different horror story each episode. Oh. So is she just in one? The 5 new spooky tales features a cast that includes Michael, I don't know how to say his last name, Henry Winkler, Dylan Burnside, Debbie Ryan, Jeff Hiller, Jessica Barden, Angela Bismarck. I don't know who all these people are. So apparently there's like no information on this. But it premieres, I just read it to you and I can't remember, October 15th, next Tuesday. I still need to start Grotesquerie. I swear to you guys that it was just called Grotesque at first. It is like what do they call it? The Mandela effect. Is that what they call it? It's like where you think one thing's like one thing. It's like when the Fruit of the Loom logo, people think it had a cornucopia with it. Is that what it is? Or the Berenstein Bears. It's the Bernstein Bears, but people think it's the Berenstein Bears. Like that kind of thing. I promise you, it was grotesque, and now all of a sudden it's grotesquerie. Is that even a word? I don't know. So if I've been saying grotesque, just know that that's what I read the first time, and yeah. I think I get dyslexic as I get older, which kind of scares me, because I will read and reread things before I send them, and like just the other day I posted, I had just uploaded another podcast episode. And my friend Edgar always points it out to me whenever I make a mistake. And he's like, I had a stroke reading this. I'm like, why? I'm like, did I spell something wrong or do something wrong? What did I say? And he's like, no, just the way I spelled upload. I spelled it like UPOAED or something. I'm like, I promise you, I read that several times and I did not see that. So... Anyway, Halsey's new album comes out in 13 days, I think. 13 days. That doesn't seem to add up. That's what Spotify said though. Because wouldn't it be 7 days from today? 7. I guess it makes sense. So it's 2 weeks. Sorry, I just had to do some very difficult math in my head. But so the album's called The Great Impersonator. And I actually am loving it so far. It's really good. Everything that's come out. The latest one's not my favorite. But I love Ego. I love that one. I love Lucky. It's the sampled version of Britney Spears' Lucky. And then she did one that's like very early 2000s, Lonely is the Muse or something. But anyways, leading up to it, she's going to be dressing up as iconic people in music history. The first one was Dolly Parton. It's when she has that really big blonde hair and she's wearing that like gold and black outfit. Um, and then she explains the song that goes along with it, along with that kind of time or the vibe she's going for. And then there is I don't know who this person is. I am so sorry. Her name is PJ Harvey. Track 3, Dog Years. She's like, if you saw her picture, you would be like, oh, I've seen that picture before. But apparently she's from England. She's an English songwriter, singer. And then she did Kate Bush. And that is for track number 10, I Never Loved You. Kate Bush is obviously a known singer, but she kind of recirculated after Stranger Things, Running Up That Hill. It's kind of funny when like you're watching a movie or whatever and or a TV show and they have a song in it and you're like, oh, this is kind of fun. And you like think that you're the only one that kind of likes it, but then you look on TikTok or Instagram or you like with your friends and they have the song downloaded because they also watched the movie and the song and it resonated with them too. I don't know. Just I love small things like that. Life is worth living, like Justin Bieber said. And then she did Share, track number 4, Letter to God, and then 1974 next to it. I don't know what that means, but anyway, I think it's kind of fun. It's different. Like it's not just someone just dropping an album, and like they used to be huge rollouts for albums, and then Beyonce kind of changed the game when she just would drop an album on a whim, like Lemonade. I think she did a couple other ones. But yeah, albums used to last a long time, like years, album eras, and now they just kind of come and go, and we don't really see much of them. It's too bad. It really is too bad. So apparently people were mad at Bowen Yang. He's on SNL. He's been doing a lot of impersonations on SNL lately, but he impersonated Charlie XCX, and I don't think it was mean. Like nothing about it was mean, but people were like, "Oh, how dare he? He's being so mean to her. She's gonna be so upset." And she was on Howard Stern, and she said, "No, I am not upset. I love Bowen." And me and Troy had a feeling because they did Troy and Charlie. They made fun of them both or whatever. But I think it would be like Trisha Paytas says, like she thinks it would be such an honor to be impersonated on SNL. I'm like, I have to agree because like how funny. And I am surprised they have not impersonated Trisha Paytas yet. Did you know that her? So I'm getting ready to start a Patreon page. I'll let you know more about that when it happens. But so basically, Patreon is you can have people subscribe to a channel. It's basically OnlyFans, but for people who do not homemade videos, if you know what I mean. And you can do different subscribing rates. And Trisha Paytas has a subscription level, and it is $100 a month. I'm like, who? I love Trisha Paytas, but who is paying $100 a month for an extra episode and the chance to have your picture on the wall behind her as she's recording an episode? That is crazy. If you have that kind of money, please give it to me. Please, please. That is so insane. The amount of Trisha is just a money making machine. She is just genuine definition of money is attracted to her because she doesn't really care about money. Like obviously she does because she drives a Rolls Royce and stuff like that, but that's not her goal when she does the stuff she does. Her goal is just to have fun and recreate iconic moments in history that she loves and dress up as celebrities that she loves, and and then the money just follows. But she makes so. Did you guys know that she did not know what a mortgage was? She thought you had to have all of the money to be able to buy a house. And she would just rent. And she said she rented this house one time in the Hollywood Hills for $20,000 a month. That is disgusting. She's like, yeah, I wasted so much money. And she said, I can't remember how much she said she spent on music videos. I think $10 million she spent on music videos. Oh, but the money just keeps coming back. What was I talking about? Oh, anyway, she wants to be impersonated on SNL, and I think that'd be so funny. I think they should have her on SNL, if I'm being totally honest. Okay, let's do a few more things. Wicked and Base, the luggage company, have teamed up on two different colors, the pink and the green, and I think that's smart. Shay Mitchell is just a total businesswoman, and it's fun to see where she's taken this company since she launched it. I remember I started following her back in like 2014 or 15, and I would just love to see what she posted every single day. And I love her house. If you have not seen her house on Architectural Digest, it is so cool. It's one of those old Hollywood style, kind of Spanish style houses, and it has a bunch of different levels. I don't know why, but I love different levels. Like, I love when there's just like a 4-step staircase that goes up to just a slightly higher level. I just love that. I don't know why. But that's kind of how her house is. So yeah, if you want a new luggage set, I think people are like really liking the luggage, and they have like crossbody bags, like kind of not fanny packs, but you know what I mean. What do they call those? Because crossbody bags. I took one of those to Disneyland. My cousin has one of the pieces of luggage, and it's cool because it'll tell you if it's overweight. Like, you just lift it up, and if the handle turns red or something, that means it's overweight. I'm like, that is really smart. And it's kind of cool because it's something that she was passionate about. Like, she loves to travel, and so she made a business around like a passion of hers, which I love when that happens. Yeah. Anyway, so go ahead and buy that collection. Kim Kardashian went and visited, I think at Cooper, is it Cooper Koch or Cooper Koch? How do you say that? I've always thought it was Koch because there's that Koch Industries, that family that's really rich. But apparently people are saying Koch. It's Koch. How do you spell that? How do you pronounce that? Anyway, him and Kim Kardashian apparently went and visited. I don't know if they visited both of them or just one of the boys. Let's see. She posted on her Instagram. It's time for the Menendez brothers to be freed. We are all products of our experiences. They shaped who we were, who we are, and who we will be. Psychologically and physiologically. I think she spelled this. Psychologically. She said the same word twice. Or am I just hallucinating? Interesting. Time changes us, and I doubt anyone would claim to be the same person they were at 18. I know I'm not. You think you know the story of Lyle and Eric Menendez. I certainly thought I did. The entirety of my personal essay on the Menendez brothers is in the link of my bio on NBC News. I forgot to watch that. I wanted to look at it. Anyway, so Kim Kardashian is on the case, you guys. And I don't know, I have to agree. After watching, I kind of forgot about all the stuff that happened to them, and how just truly awful their parents were, until I'm still on, I think I'm on episode 5 now of this newer one, and you can't help but feel like sad for them because they just felt trapped, even though they were adults and they could have left, you know. Maybe Eric wasn't an adult. I think Lyle was in college, but yeah, so it's kind of sad. But Nicholas Chavez did not go and visit them in prison. I wonder how they handled seeing Cooper, because they're apparently not happy with Ryan Murphy. He's pretty much like, I think he's tripled down on his decision to make this TV show. And I don't know, he does have a point. He's like, this, even though this is one of the most famous cases of all time, he's like, I brought light to it, and they're getting attention now, and it could change the outcome of their trial or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, that is kind of true, but also this is a pretty huge case that people have been following for a long, long time. But yeah, it's just kind of crazy that, and it's like, how did all these different terms, like in the show, it's like manslaughter, first degree manslaughter, first degree murder. It's like, how do you guys know all this stuff? I mean, obviously there's a whole school to go to learn about it, but there's just all these different types of stuff. And how do you determine how to, is it acquit or how to punish someone? I don't know. I could never be a lawyer. I could tell you that much. I would bring all my work home with me, and I would probably go insane. I could never do something like that. What else? Okay, I'll end on these last few. Outer Banks, the new season has started. It started yesterday, and it's going to be in 2 parts. Apparently that must be working for Netflix because they do that a lot now. But the first 4 episodes, I think, are out now. Sorry, I had it. Oh, you could. Sorry, I just clicked on this tab. You can pre-order the Wicked soundtrack, and of course, Target has an exclusive with them. It doesn't say what the songs are or who sings them, but you can pre-order it. And I think you can pick it up November 22nd, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, Outer Banks. Here we go. Part 1, October 10th. Episodes 1 through 5. And then part 2, November 7th, episodes 6 through 10. That's so crazy. We're already getting into like the Burr months. November, October, December. I do love these months though. They are fun. And then the last one I want to end on is Martha Stewart has a documentary coming out. And I would die for Martha Stewart. I love her. I love her so much. I've always loved her. She just can just do anything. Literally, I watched her masterclass, and she's like, people always ask me like, where'd you get that shirt or where'd you get those pants? And she's like, oh, I made them. And they're like, really? She's like, yeah, they didn't have I couldn't find the ones I wanted, so I just made them. And I encourage people to do that. Just like go and make the things that you want. Like, Martha is not that easy. Like, not everyone can just make them. She has 100 books. Do you guys know that? 100. She was the first self-made woman billionaire in America. And I remember watching an interview with her, a documentary, and she said, I remember I was in the back of a car driving down, I think it was 5th Avenue, and I got the news that I had just become a billionaire. And she's like, I thought to myself, wow, I can buy anything I want. And the interviewer's like, well, did you? She's like, no, I was so stupid. I should have bought something. But then there's like the iconic shot of her walking into the courtroom with her $100,000 Birkin bag, and maybe it wasn't $100,000, but Birkins are expensive. Anyway, it was basically a witch hunt. Like, people do this all the time on Broadway, on Wall Street, insider trading, but for some reason she got convicted of it, and people basically thought that she would kind of just fall off after that, and she wouldn't do much, and she proved them wrong. I think she's worth not $1 billion, but I think she's worth $400 million. Let's see, which is a lot of money. If you guys have Masterclass, it's kind of a good thing to have. It's just a bunch of like these really well-known people in industries. Like, there's one for writing, for acting, for cooking. Martha Stewart's is business, and it's pretty interesting. But I watched hers on Masterclass, and it's kind of interesting. Martha Stewart's net worth is estimated to be $550 million. Stewart became a billionaire on paper in 1999 when Martha Stewart Living Omni Media went public on the New York Stock Exchange. She was the first self-made female billionaire in the United States. However, her net worth dropped 40% in a matter of weeks. Oh, it wasn't even that long. That sucks. After she was sent to jail in 2002 for making up a story about insider trading. How do you make up a story about insider trading? This is so crazy. But yet none of the people that screwed us over in 2008 went to prison. That makes so much sense. Anyway, just Martha Stewart, every year for Thanksgiving and Christmas, I make. It's a combination of her two different recipes of her mashed potatoes, and they're so good. People love them. Like, I don't mean to brag, but people really like my Martha Stewart mashed potatoes, and they are super good. Like, you put nutmeg in them, and heavy whipping cream, cream cheese, butter, and then you mash them all up, and they're so good, you guys. Oh my gosh, they're delicious. Okay, I think that'll do it for me today. I gotta go pack. Pack. I hate packing, you guys. I hate it with a passion. Like, despise it. But I don't think I had to pack much because it's super hot, and I'll just wear shorts and a t-shirt pretty much the whole time. But yeah, hope you have a great. It's the almost the middle of October, so start watching your Halloween movies if you haven't. And I have not. I've not watched one, so I need to get on it. Apparently, you're supposed to watch all the Harry Potter movies in October, and my question is, who has the time for that? Literally, what is that, like 70 hours of footage? Anyway, have a great rest of your day. Bye.